Hey, I'm Jasmine, and I want to step in and talk to you guys about how I became a nurse, why I became a nurse, how to pass the NCLEX, LPN, and RN. So if that interests you, please stay and like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know how this video goes for you. I really hope that it can help you and change your life and, really make a positive impact on you. So first thing first, why I became a nurse. So I've been a nurse for about, I want to say about almost 5 years now, and I didn't want to be a nurse until I got to high school. I wanted to be a meteorologist all my life. Like, that's what I had my mind set on. I wanted to be on the Weather Channel, and I wanted to tell the weather, but things changed. So it was just a time for me. My mom, she's a nurse practitioner now, and I watched her take care of her patients. Like, in high school, I was able to drive, so I was able to like go to her jobs and stuff and see how nursing was. Like, because at first I had no idea what nursing was. Like, it didn't even interest me until like I saw my mom do it, and then I was like, I think I can do this. It seems manageable. My mom used to take care of kids, so I was like, it just really seems like something that I can do too. I know she can do it, I can do it too. So it's kind of something that was passed down to me. And not only that, my auntie is a nurse, and my grandma, she was a phlebotomist. She's retired now, but she was a phlebotomist, so it was just in my family. So it kind of like got passed down to me. But at first I wanted to be a meteorologist. Nursing was a huge shift for me. Like, I did whatever I could to get into nursing school. Like, as soon as I graduated high school, I went straight into LPN. Well, I went in CNA first because the school I went to, you had to be a CNA before you became an LPN. So I was like, cool, I'll just do the little 3 to 6 week class. Class ended up being 6 weeks. And I had went to this school that was about 30 minutes from my house. It wasn't in the same city as my house, so that was another sacrifice I had to make. I ended up failing my CNA state boards. I think that's what it's, state boards this first time, and I passed the second time. I ended up failing for blood pressure readings or something like that, and I just feel like it wasn't the automatic one, it was the other one, the one where you had to like turn it, the knob, and I ended up failing because I ended up getting the numbers wrong, and I think she said I failed something else, but I know that was the most important thing that I had my mind set on, as like, oh, I gotta pass this, I gotta pass this, I gotta pass this. So I was studying. I was like, okay, since I can study all this, I ended up eventually passing the CNA boards. I was like, cool, let's go to LPN. Most people don't know about this route from CNA to LPN, then RN. I feel like it was the easiest route. It was the quickest way from what I've heard so far, because it flew by for me. So I went into the LPN program. It was only 1 year at the school I went to. I sacrificed so much for this school, for this class. Like, I sacrificed so much. When I tell you, I sacrificed a lot. Like, I was only 18. And most 18-year-olds, they're not finna just log down for a whole year and no, they're gonna be out partying. Me, no, I went straight into trade school where I had to like literally, I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't party. I couldn't go out with my friends. I couldn't really do anything. Like, that whole year was school and clinicals. And clinicals were 12 hours. That was like something that the only job that I ever worked was crystals. So to go to the hospital, that was like, and I was only 18, that was like for 12 hours. I had to grow up, for real. I had to literally like grow up. So long story short, I ended up getting through. I ended up passing. I used the Saunders book. I was studying the Saunders, the 5th version, because I think that was during the time I was in LPN school. It was the filter version I was studying. It was one of my mom's old books. So I studied that, and that helped me get through the HESIs. That helped me get through Mocha. That helped me get through sorry, my dog is just hyper. It helped me get through the HESIs, and it helped me get through my finals. I also used Quizlet. Quizlet helped me because we didn't have like AI and all types of stuff. We didn't have ChatGPT. We only had Quizlet. So I went on Quizlet, and that helped me as well. Like, I usually just type in maternity questions and just start studying every question I could find. Like, I would just start memorizing everything and just start studying pediatric questions, start studying LPN and our rows and stuff, because you want to separate the LPN and RN from each other. Like, you want to separate those two topics because you want to know your role as an LPN is way different than an RN. RN have way more leadership than LPN, so I had to like literally make sure I put LP in everything that I studied. So yeah, I used the Saunders book most of my nursing school and Quizlet. Those are the two things that helped me get through school, LPN school. And I used UWorld. You might want to write this down because it's really important. I used UWorld to pass the LPN NCLEX. And I know you're like, UWorld? Yes, UWorld. And we're going to get into more of UWorld. But yeah, I used UWorld to pass. I passed my first time LPN, and everyone kept saying to use that, and I was like, yeah, okay. So I ended up studying everything, all my notes from LPN school. Literally everything that I had written down from class, the Saunders book. Like, I had got a hotel room for 2 days just to prepare for the NCLEX because I didn't want to be around my family. I lived with my mom at the time. I didn't want to be around my cousins, everyone that was staying there. I needed to log in. So me and my boyfriend ended up getting a hotel room, and he'll go get me food while I'm studying, and I'll just sit there and I'll study. And then I do meditations at nighttime. So that was the only way I could go to sleep because my brain was literally going on 1,000. Like, trying to remember everything was exhausting. So yeah, I literally logged in. Like, LPN school was a whole different type of level up for me. Like, I really recommend that path too as well, even though it's like could be like really, it gets you prepared. And then plus you only have 1 year, imagine, instead of 2 years. So finished LPN, got my LPN license, and I started working. I knew I wanted to do like private duty because I wanted to go straight into RN school, and I knew I couldn't work at a hospital while trying to like go into RN school. I needed something more slower paced where I was still getting paid really good. So I decided to do private duty, one-on-one care. I really recommend this. Like, people probably talk down on this, but I really recommend this because I only had like one patient. Well, I had one patient at a time, and then I probably get off work and I go to my other patient. But I could study while I was there, and I knew I wasn't at my goal yet, so I wasn't trying to rush to no hospital. I wasn't trying to rush to no nursing home, and that's kind of where I messed up at because when I did get in RN school, I did take my prereqs. I took my prereqs while I was at work. I was working on my prereqs while I was at work. And yeah, it was easier for me. Like, even the people that I was working with, it was like, you can do your work here, it's fine. You know, even my boss, she was okay with it. She was like, yeah, you can do your work here. And I was like, okay, cool, you know, everyone is on board and I'm still in school, so don't put too much on me. And they were okay with that. But yeah, back to what I was saying. So RN school, it was a breeze. It wasn't like too much for me to handle. It was a piece of cake almost. So that's what I thought. It really wasn't. It was actually way more work. So I ended up filling out my first semester of nursing school, RN school. I didn't go in there serious. I had a lot of things going on in my life, and I ended up not preparing myself like I did for LPN school. So through these challenges of trying to like go to school, I really recommend to like really get like really clear on if you want to be a nurse for real, because that's what I had to do. I had to literally sacrifice toxicity out my life and like really like clear out my circle and clear out like a lot of things around me, bad habits that I had going on. I had to literally learn how to take care of myself mentally and just figure out a way I could like get back in that mode that I was in when I was in LPN school. Because when I was in LPN school, I didn't have as much around me as what I did when I went into RN school, because I was older. You know, as you get older, you be around more people, you get into like a different situation. So it was that type of thing. So it's not hard though. You know, I ended up getting back in. I went right back in the next semester and I was serious. I was serious this time. And I also made friends in RN school. Like, I really recommend friends. Like, if you don't take anything else from this video, make friends, partner up with people in nursing school. That is like the quickest and easiest way you're going to like succeed. It's like collaborating with your classmates. Like, if you need to pick one girl or two or male, pick one or two and just like study together, check in with each other, be each other accountability partners. Because through LPN school and RN school, that was one thing I made sure I did. They were older than me. They all had kids, but I didn't care. These was my best friends at the time. Like, we're a team. So I made sure we was like all the way to the end. And I still talked to them whenever I finished. We was still checking up on each other whenever we finished. Even when we took the NCLEX, we made sure we both passed. We all passed. Because it was a group of us in my LPN school, and it was just two of us in my RN school. I love them so much to this day because they understand me on a whole nother level. They understand me. So partner up, make you some friends. You know, y'all don't have to be in each other's business. Y'all don't have to like, you know, go out and party and stuff. Study together, be each other, you know, partners at the time. Read back to each other notes, test each other brains, you know, just really like get clear. Because that's what I had to do. Like, it was like the best decision I made, because I don't think I would have made it by myself. And I also made sure that I prayed through all this. Like, if you believe in God or you believe in some type of higher power, this is the time to go ahead and log in with that. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but in nursing, you're saving people's lives. And when you're trying to get into this career, your professors wants to make sure that you're going to remember everything you're supposed to do, that you have the right mindset and you have the right skills to keep this patient alive. Like, if this patient started having all types of problems, how will you react? Will you go into your critical thinking mode, or will you just walk away and when things get too hard? So your professor, they make it hard for you just so you could handle it, because it's a different type of pressure. But let's get to it, because I know you're like, how did you pass the RN NCLEX next gen? I took the next gen one because I didn't take the next gen for LPN, but I still know that UWorld is like the easiest thing for LPN. But I tried UWorld too for the RN. Y'all, because I thought UWorld was going to help with that. I did the same exact techniques I used for LPN school. I studied my Saunders book, I studied UWorld, I went over all my notes from school. All the notes I took, I went back over the PowerPoints. I even used Evolve, because we was using Evolve at the time for both, for LPN and RN, but I didn't use it for LPN. I used it for RN to study for the NCLEX, and that didn't help either. So I was like, what in the world? When I found out that I failed, I was like, this is not real. This cannot. So I ended up having to take the next gen, because around the time where I took my first NCLEX, the next gen wasn't out yet. I had to take it the second time around the time it had came out. I was like, why? So I did as much research as I could. Like, I was trying to figure out how I failed. So I seen my weak subjects, and I went over all that. I went over my weak subjects, and I just dabbled in questions. I was doing 150 questions a day to 200 questions a day. Like, I literally was not talking to nobody. I wasn't even talking to my best friend. But she understood what I had going on. She knew that I was trying to, like, pass this exam. She was like, her and my mom was the only ones I told I failed. Like, I really thought I passed. Like, I was confident in myself the first time. But we ain't gonna beat ourselves down, because that second time, I passed with flying colors. It cut off on 85. So I used the Archer. Archer was the only thing I used to pass the RN NCLEX next gen. I just dabbled in it, dabble. Like, I studied every single question. Like, all them thousands of questions on there, or however many is now, I went through every single one of them, and I took notes after each question. Even the ones I got right, I took notes on. The ones I got wrong, I definitely took notes on. I went over those the most. The ones I kept getting wrong, I kept taking over and over and over and over. Like, that was my life for a few months. No, you have like 90 days. So for about a month and a half, that was my life. And it goes by so fast. So even though this could all seem like so overwhelming, as long as you like stay focused and you stay locked in on this, you're going to succeed. It's going to happen for you. Like, there's no way it's not. And that's why I had to learn. Like, I'm really happy how far I've came. And this is not the end for me at all. It's not. But I just wanted to like get on here, and I wanted to like share my story with you guys and let y'all know how I passed. You know, because it took me, I was a CNA for about 3 years. Then I was an LPN for about not that long. And then I was an RN like a year later. No, 2 years later. So, I could have this up wrong. 3 years later. Sorry about that, because I was an LPN in 2020, then an RN 2023. So I've been an RN for about 2 years now, but I've been a nurse total, because I count my LPN experience and RN together, for 5 years. So if you are LPN, you are a nurse. I don't care what no one says. You are a nurse. CNAs, you just our help. Like, we love y'all. No matter how hard it gets, we love y'all. Because we need y'all too. I was a CNA too. When I work now, where I work at, like, I work in like the ICU area where I work now. I love my CNAs. I help them too. I help my techs, my PCAs. I help them. And then we are our own phlebotomists, so we be having our own labs to draw and all that. So we need our CNAs to help us, because we're not gonna always be able to get to every patient to change them, clean them up and all that. So, I've leveled up as I went. But yeah, I feel like that path was easy. I don't know how the straight through RN is, but I feel like that path was easy. I made me some good money through it. I've learned a lot. I got to experience all levels of nursing. I'm not done yet. You know, it's another level that I'm trying to reach. But yeah, like, don't give up. This message isn't just to help you pass the NCLEX, but it's to help you get through nursing school, because it can be very challenging. It's not anything just to play around with. Nursing in general isn't anything to play around with. It's not a Walmart job. It's not a retail job. This is someone's life in your hands. So if you're really serious about this and you know deep down inside that this is what you want to do, go for it. The sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. I recommend this job to anyone who has a passion for people at their lowest, who needs that care. They need that heart. They need that loving at that time. They need that it's going to be, you can't tell them it's going to be okay, but they need that somebody to talk to at that moment. It's not all about just passing meds and like doing blood draws and giving medicine, and it's not always just about that. It's about helping that person get better, or being there with them until they pass over, because we all need that. You are that person to them. You're that person, their advocate. So, you're the one that they lean on. So you have that type of care and that type of passion, definitely do it. I recommend you to do it. I definitely recommend you. And CNAs, don't give up. I love y'all so much. And LPNs and RNs. I love our nurse practitioners. I'm ready for it too. If this reading do resonate, please like, comment, and subscribe. I hope I didn't go too far into depth and talk too much, but I just wanted to give as much information as I could out. Thank you.